This to me is the first steps to acknowledge that Sean was murdered, the beginning of what my family needs, which is peace of mind.
Emotional moments for the widow of Sean Suter after Baltimore City approves giving the family almost $1 million in benefits 3 years after the detective's death. Hello, everyone. I'm Vic Carter.
And I'm Nicole Baker. Now, the Suter family calls this payout a victory. After years of stress and pain, Detective Suter died while investigating a triple murder case in the Harlem Park neighborhood in 2017.
His family believes he was murdered, but a state police investigation concluded his death was a suicide. And the still open case remains one of Baltimore's highest profile mysteries.
WJZ investigator Mike Hogan live for us at City Hall with reaction tonight from both Suter's family and attorneys. Mike.
Nicole and Vic, it has been a long fight for them and one that is ongoing. Nicole Suter says this gives her some peace, but she still wants justice, and she believes the killer is still out there.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye. Without discussion, Baltimore City Spending Board approved $900,000 in workers' compensation benefits for the family of Detective Sean Suter, who died of a gunshot wound to the head while on duty in West Baltimore almost 3 years ago. It resolves a legal battle between the city and Suter's loved ones over whether Baltimore should pay out benefits, which would not be due if the detective killed himself.
Every day since this horrific day has been a trial. Here it is nearly 3 years later, and the pain prevails.
Suter's widow, Nicole, has maintained her husband would never take his own life.
Sean Suter was indeed murdered. Suicide was never an option.
Detective Suter was killed the day before his testimony in front of a grand jury investigating the gun trace task force scandal, the largest corruption probe in city police history.
There's Detective Ram. He pulled out the handgun and the cocaine.
The GTTF was a group of officers who for years stole cash and drugs from citizens. Many former officers are now in prison. The medical examiner still lists Suter's cause of death as a homicide, but an independent review board hired by Baltimore police and a Maryland State Police investigation both determined the death to be a suicide.
No amount of money can bring Sean back, and most certainly no amount of money is worth his life.
The Suter family's lawyer says the death investigation remains open.
The family and myself, we're still working actively with the Baltimore City Police Department, and we look forward to a day when the crime is finally solved.
His widow hopes the approval of benefits will help clear his name.
Sean cannot rest in peace until justice is completed. I will continue to fight for justice.
Also today, the City Spending Board approved more than $250,000 in settlements for victims of the gun trace task force in 9 separate cases. Reporting live at City Hall, Mike Helgren, WJZ.